hip hop is expression, you know. Hip hop is love, hip hop is life, hip hop is my culture, you know. Hip hop is, to sum it up in one word, the best everything, you know. Let's not say hip hop in general, but music. Music is everything. I'll sum it up like that because there's been many times where you know, we're not perfect and we all have issues. There's been plenty times where I was mentally thrown down, torn down, shut down, depression, and I just, only thing that seemed to get me out of the rut was always music.
Right there, it would have been a nice time for the drop. Right here.
We can do this here, watch me rock the flow. Killing it a must, never optional.
Spent guys at the crab table, still ain't signed to a rap label. DVD when I ain't have cable. I got balls, he ain't rap label. A 6D for me is man fatal. Can't see me like a bad angle.
Absolutely, ain't going nowhere. We will be forever and ever and ever.
Peace, beautiful family. This is Dr. Walter Hidalgo, and this is the Know That Show podcast. The Know That Show podcast utilizes the metaphor of the shelf in order to extrapolate the self. And the way we do that is we invite guests to come in and share something about themselves. And before I introduce my guests, I just got to give a few shout outs to a couple people. Shout out to my brother Steve and his 2020 collections. I definitely want y'all to check that out. Just Google everything nowadays. Definitely want you to check out my brother here, who we're going to interview, Wally Sparks. Google that. You will find that. Also, I want to give a shout out to my brother Babito. Yo, you see this mug right here? The woo with the Guatemalan flag. Oh, wow, yo. Yo, Wally, if you want that woo with the Cape Verde flag, my man can do that for you. So we can talk about that later. So shout out to Babito from Queens, too. So shout out to Queens. If you're looking for any coaching, any workshops, check out our website. It's called knowthatshelf.tv. There you can find a plethora of things. So including my book, Beyond the Four Walls, The Rising Ministry and Spirituality of Hip Hop. The next thing that we always do is I just want to shout out a couple of individuals out there in the ecosystem. And today, man... Yo, today I want to give a big shout out to all my Cabo Verdeanos, yo. I don't think people know, but we're going to find out today. I want to give a big shout out to all my MASS family, yo. Massachusetts, stand up. You already know. I want to give a big shout out to all my hustlers. Just anybody that's out on the grind, you know. I always say there's a spirituality to entrepreneurship, man. Right? It really adds purpose into our life. So shout out to anybody that's on their grind. Shout out to all my masters of ceremony, aka the MC, yo. Because what does MC mean? Move the crowd. That's what Lil Wayne said that, because today I got here with me somebody that I admire, that I respect. I see the grind. My brother from another, Wally Sparks. What's good, Wally?
Salute, man. I'm proud to be on the show, man.
Yes, sir. You know what's bugged out? So my government, right, or half of it is Walter. So my family that knows me. They never call me Walter. It's either Walt was good, yo, Wally was good. You know what I'm saying?
We Wallying right now, man.
Yo,
we Wallying.
We Wallying. Yo, so Wally, if we were to jump in, well, first of all, where'd you get the name Wally Sparks?
Oh, man, I'll tell you this story. It's a funny one, quick one. Now, a lot of people thought that I got it maybe from the movie, and I actually didn't see the movie Wally Sparks till after I came up with the name. I'm chilling with my man Ramsey back in our younger days. We messing around with a guy's lights in his parking lot. He pulls up in the car. He goes, "Oh, I got you now. What's your name? What's your name?" I goes, "Wally." He goes, "Wally." I goes, "Wally. Wally Sparks." And he just went ballistic. Me and my man pedaled off on our bikes. We laughing. The name was born.
Bang. I love that. And you know what's super hip hop about that is that he used the resources he had right there to spark something in you, literally. Like, it's ill. That's ill. I like that.
They had them big old mirrors. You know, when we kids, we was getting a kick out of it. We did a little smoking.
Yep.
hold up.
Sure, no doubt. So, Wally, as I always do, I like to contextualize things, right? If we were, have you ever seen that movie, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures?
I remember that joint. Yeah, party time.
Yeah, classic. If we were to jump into that time machine to go back in time to a younger Wally, you know, what would we see? What would we hear? What would we smell? Because you're originally from
Cambridge, North Cambridge.
Cambridge, stand up. And you know what's interesting? Because when we hear that place, Cambridge, automatically one of the first things we think of is Harvard, right? You got Harvard in your backyard, right? But I don't think people really know the significance of Cambridge. But talk to us about growing up in Cambridge, my brother.
Growing up in Cambridge was ill, man. You know, I had a lot of experiences, man, and it's dope because I mean, it's not, you know, you got Cambridge is right like outside of Boston. Boston got a whole lot of parts in it, where Cambridge you got about 5 parts. You got the north side, you got the port, you got west side, you got East Cambridge, and you got the coast. And it really like tight-knit community. Everyone from Cambridge kind of like rocked together and stuff like that. But the dope thing about it was there's a whole lot of talent in Cambridge, you know, artists and all that stuff. A lot of people from Cambridge, Matt Damon and all that's out here too, you know. So we got a lot of there's a whole lot of us out here, and there was a lot of rap music growing up. Like me personally, I got influenced early from like, you know, I would hang in a part of North Cambridge that's known as Walden Square. That was my hanging area. And now as we was kids, you know, I would do the rap and stuff and all that. But I was shortly influenced around the 8th grade when I would see the ice cream truck would come around. Now, the ice cream truck didn't only have ice cream or pizza. What it did have, what no other ice cream truck was having, was they were promoting a rap group from Cambridge called The Product. Tapes from the ice cream truck, selling them, you know? And I found that real intriguing. So, of course, I picked one up. And when I started listening to The Product, I was like, it's time for me to come up with my own product.
You know, that's ill. That reminds me of how Puffy did his marketing with the Biggie and the Mac sandwiches to promote. You know what I'm saying? It's like that great facts, right? And I think of like the ice cream man is coming from the woo. Like you talk about marketing on another level. That's ill. And you know what, Wally? I'm glad that you're going there with this, because I interviewed. I don't know if you know DJ Cadillac Jack, right? He's out of Rhode Island, Cape Verdean too, right? R.I. legend, shout out. Interviewed him too. Talk to us about the influence and impact of Cabo Verdeanos, Cape Verdeans in the hip hop culture, because I don't think we hear enough about that.
I know there's a lot. Me personally, that's all on my father's side. They're all Cape Verdean and stuff like that. My mom's black, and I never really, as I came up, my pop wasn't around. You know, he did his little stretch. You know what I'm talking about? So I never really got to learn too much, but as I got older, I just wanted to embrace my culture. I would go to spots in Boston on my upbringing, to places such as like the Dublin House. And what I would soon learn is a lot of my people would say, yo, all the Cape Verdeans be down here, you know? And I was just like, oh, word. So I was just starting to learn that where there was a lot of that going on. And I just try to embrace it, man. You know, anything I could do to represent my culture. You know, I plan on eventually, I want to visit.
Word.
You know?
Word.
And feel the air.
Yeah.
Feel the music scene. Because I've listened to some Cape Verdean music and I really love it. And what I also learned from my research is that Cape Verdeans are like, you know, they're musical people. You know what I'm talking about? And that's a fact, because you know, I was doing my little research, and only that, but my family, that's also not on the Cape Verdean side, is a musical family. Okay, on my mother's side, everybody in the family done music. On my mother, my grandmother, my aunts, everybody, my uncles are in rock band. I'm the first of them to not do music, but rap, you know? So I think on both sides, you know, sometimes you got to come in from one, but as I dug into the culture that I'm from, I learned that they're a very musical culture.
Yo, you know what's crazy? You just make me think about what Grandmaster Caz said. You know, like hip hop didn't invent anything, but it reinvented everything. And you are just you pulling from all these parts that make who identify who you are.
Yeah,
we create you in a different level, yo. That's amazing. I want to ask you this. I gotta ask you this, right? So I wrote this book. I told you, Beyond the Four Walls: The Rising Ministry and Spirituality of Hip Hop. Man, I went around the world asking people, is hip hop spiritual? Is hip hop spiritual, Wally?
I feel like it is. You know, honestly, hip hop, just music in generally. Me personally, I'll share it with you like this. I feel like it's so spiritual, and I feel like live instruments, like a lot personally, I don't really fancy the newer generation of music. I'm more 90s, you know, like you got the Wu-Tang Cut, stuff like that. That when I hear that real hip hop music and old school R&B, it actually gives me chills in my body. You know what I'm saying? To the point where I can feel it and you can see the goosebumps, you know? So when I get feeling and off making music myself, and now when you get a feeling like that, you know, that's something in you, you know, that's your spirit chilling. I won't say I get spiritual chills from everything, but I get it from making music and listening to the classics. So I do totally 1000% feel that it's a spiritual thing.
What is hip hop for you, Wally?
Hip hop is expression, you know. Hip hop is love, hip hop is life, hip hop is my culture, you know. Hip hop is, to sum it up in one word, the best everything, you know. Let's not say hip hop in general, but music. Music is everything. I'll sum it up like that because there's been many times where you know, we're not perfect and we all have issues. There's been plenty of times where I was mentally thrown down, torn down, shut down, depression. And I just, only thing that seemed to get me out of the rut was always music.
So it's like we're moving in a generation now, right? Very digital. So that's changing the landscape. So this was almost like very prophetic, a prophecy, someone kind of looking into the future of what could be, right? Because the reality is that whether it's in the school, at a bar, at the church, we are up on our phones. Why? Because we are plugged into the pictures.
The workshop tonight was excellent. The kids were engaged, and Walter did a great job. He even had me and Donald answer questions. So can't wait for the next one.
Session was excellent. The kids were really engaged. They really understood and learned a lot about social media and what their impact could be. I'm looking forward to the next session.
You know, it kind of just always just shifted my spirit from a real low to at least mid-high.
Yeah, and
you know,
who are, you know, call them out, man. Who are some of the people that influence you to get you back on that high level? You know, who, call them out.
Personally, I always me, but the thing that stands behind me the most, that gets me going and just moves me, is that my parents, my mother, and them, they never put down my hip hop or what I wanted to do when I was coming up. I rapped with a lot of cats coming up and stuff, you know, we rapped here and there. Their parents didn't support it. You know, they were kind of looking at it like, what the hell are you doing? Da, 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 da. But where my family never did that. No matter, even if I was in school, I might have been screwing up a little bit or whatever. No matter what I did, like my mother would always encourage what I did. Like, yeah, that's good. That's my son. She was proud of that. So that's it. You know, outside people, a lot of them didn't stick around from the beginning, you know?
Word.
So after a while, I just began to say, you know what? this is for self, you know. And I just started working by myself. That's why a lot of my focus is on solo records and not the features, you know, because I feel like it's like Meek Mill said, there's levels to this. So it's like the first level would be maybe learning you have a skill. The second level is maybe testing that skill out, doing some recording. Third level, maybe you getting it out there. Fourth level, people start to know you. Okay. Fifth level, that's when you want to maybe say, okay, let's do some collaborative music. Boom, 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 boom. Done with that level. Now you surpass a few of the levels. Now you might want to start going to doing live events for the sixth level. You know what I mean? After the live events, boom, boom. Now you're gonna just want to keep gradually working on product. Now that's not meaning I won't do features at all, because all the time if somebody hits me up, I mean, and if I like it, I'm gonna jump on it. You know, I say, and for my Cambridge people, it's always, you know.
Word. And you know what? I'm glad that you're throwing this like checklist off, because one thing, you know, because I met you through this crazy thing we call the internet, social media world, yo. I haven't met you in the physical yet, right? And it's ill how like you're the MC, but you've been interviewing cats. I've seen some interviews you've had with Cameron. Right. I think you had a joint with Stack Bundles, if I'm not correct. Yo,
so Stack Bundles. They said I sound like Stack Bundles.
Right. And the reason I'm saying that is because like now we're starting to see like a lot of, especially through the social media, we got podcasts, we got YouTube videos, we got people doing this stuff. And I look at you and it's like, yo, you've been doing this, right?
Yeah.
How important is archiving our history, Wally?
That's very important to me. I mean, even that you said that means a lot, because you're right. It's like it was said like this: the internet's a gift and a curse. Right? In the beginning, they'd say that. I feel like it's a little more cursed than a gift to few, but for people like us that maybe, you know, I come up from the dirt of this, you know, we came up from, like I said, a couple of the levels was outside, burning them CDs, the hardware, out beating our feet on the concrete, you know, boom, 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 touch your heads, doing all that. So sometimes people may feel like nowadays, let's say what, the millennials, just have it a lot easier. It's just now that you can get up and be whoever you want to be. You know, just maybe create an account somewhere and I'm this, I'm that. We couldn't do that back in the day. You couldn't say it. Even we was in school face to face. Oh, I do this, I do that. No. People wanted to see that. You know, it's like, let me ask you, how do you feel about, because we're about the same age.
Word. Yeah.
How do you feel about the battle rap scene? You know the leagues now that they show, you know, the Smack, URL, RBE. You know, I kind of like to talk about that sometimes because it's cool to watch. I feel like it's entertaining. But you know, it's like where we come from. I've had to do a lot of battles in my life, and you know, it was usually a call out. You might be in class and somebody come in, yo, dude want to battle you. So guess what? After class, you'd meet up, and we was off the top. Wow. So I feel like the internet influenced a lot of hacks. Let's say hacks to get around it. Because I'm like, don't get me wrong, I enjoy the battle rap, but I like to get other people's opinion. Because, you know, where I'm from, where we did back in the day, we was off the top with it. But nowadays, they know who they're battling 4 months in advance, and they're digging up all kinds of dirt.
Yo, and you know what's, and it's crazy. It's very seldom someone asks me a question in the pod. So with gladly, because it's crazy, and you know, shout out to Matt Hoffman, my expert opinion, the podcast. Yo, shout out to the guy. And I had the opportunity to link up with the guy a few times, and it's for sure, yeah. I got a few interviews with him. And shout out to DJ J Ronan in Brooklyn and All Elements. the family. But yo, the battle rap scene, it's a resurgence, because there's a huge segment of the hip hop diaspora that still is about them bars. You understand? That's number one. I think that's important.
All about the bars.
You heard, but you're right in the sense that to an extent, because now it literally and figuratively speaking, it's in a different arena, right? Now it's in a mainstream arena, and it's like the pressure, and with everything else, once it's on a mainstream level, there's a lot of moving parts and external factors involved. Marketing, sponsorship, contracts are involved, and once that literally the contract, you're literally creating parameters, and I see that happening within that element of the culture. So you can't just go off the top as much as I think they would, even though some I think do improvise within, right?
I like they do the rebuttals like that, like, ooh, that's cool. But you are right, it's a lot of pressure. Might just have an Eminem mom spaghetti moment.
Wow. Exactly. That's exactly. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You know what? While we're here, Wally, what's the role of the MC in the culture, yo?
Like you said, man, before in the intro, move the crowd, master of ceremonies. MC, man, you gotta be able, as an MC though, we'll bring it back to that. MC definitely has to be able to freestyle off the top, any given moment. MC is able to do any type of music, rap, adapt like that. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes there's people that I don't want to use that beat. You're gonna have to get down for the get down. Break dancing. Let's have the elements. DJing. You know what I mean? That's all part of MCs. B-boy.
Word. Right. Exactly. Yeah. As we always do in the Know That Show podcast, we invite guests to share something that comes out of their shelf. Wally, what you got for us today?
Well, I was gonna kind of probably do something generic and bust out the microphone and say all this, but you know what? Nah, you know what? I do art, musical art and stuff like that. But before that, I busted these out from the shelf. I mean, this is just a bunch of my sketch pads that I've worked on art. I have I got some pictures. If you go around the room, I've drawn pictures. I got Nas, I drew Cardi B, but I do art.
Oh, that's ill.
Take the art off the shelf, just to kind of show you guys where I actually come from. This is actually a picture I do a cartoon of my boy Ryan, but this is also part of the MC and graffiti, and I was doing this way back when I was in school, and I was free Young Thug, a little Young Thug bro. I got
and he going through some stuff right now too, so big up,
And I just wanted to pull out some of these sketchbooks from the shelf because art is real important to me. Because one thing, like I said, when I'm in a rut, mostly to get out the music, but art has always been something of mine that kept my focus the best. Even when I'm doing music, sometimes I go off the top a lot, and sometimes I can't fully keep the focus on that even, So art is really one thing I like, it's really just something to keep me afloat. I've been drawing since back in the day, I like to draw. I like to watch interviews and draw while in motion, just to kind of sharpen my skills. But that's on my shelf. This right here too. I want to talk about this. I don't know how good you guys can see this, but this is actually a blueprint. This is a blueprint, okay, of something that I was coming up with once upon a time. Because let's talk about the weed game. But once upon a time in these streets, people were starting to put their weed in little like fancy packages with pictures on them, okay? So I said to myself, CDs are out. I created the Wally Pack. Now the Wally Pack is basically, like I showed you, it's like the weed pack. It had a joint paper in it, and it had a USB with approximately 10 albums of mine on it. So I those as the Wally Pack, but you know, they look like little weed packs. You know, it's just like, what's the culture doing now? What's hot in these streets? So that's something that I also came up with. You know what's ill, Wally? I used to tell people that art is your soul revealing itself to the world, yo. Yo, Wally, what continues to motivate you to do this, yo? What motivate me to do what? Music?
Art, this culture, like emceeing. What is it that keeps the spark in Wally?
Like I said, man, it's just in my blood. Ever since I was a young whippersnapper, you know, I've always been into music. Like I said, it's in the family. So when I was coming up, I was seeing my uncles doing jamming, you know, going to gigs. You know, I'm the nephew of a you know, rock and roll artists and stuff like that. They were doing like, you know, so I was always seeing it, and I was just always intrigued. When I was in elementary school, first with the drawing, I used to just always be doodling under my assignments. You know, I'm doodling. Sometimes I would get caught, and if it wasn't artwork, I was doing a rap. So here goes another little story about actually my first performance. It happened in 7th grade. My math teacher, Mr. Martin, had caught me writing a little rap under my book. This wasn't the first time. So he goes, "You writing again, Tony?" Because Tony, all right, that's what they call me in school. "You writing again, Tony? You gonna bust my balls or whatever." But this time, Mr. Martin goes like this: "You know what? If you can rap that assignment after lunch in front of the class, I'll give you 100. You know what I'm saying?" Oh. So after class, that's exactly what I did. I rapped the assignment, and that was my first performance, and it was dope. And back in those days, I was going as skills.
Yo. Insert round of applause button here, because you know what's so ill about that? Number one, shout out to, what's that teacher's name?
Mr. Martin.
Mr. Martin, for even thinking of giving you that option to do that.
Yeah,
that's number one. Yo, shout out. Number
and
two.
He wasn't over either. None of them would know, because the thing was, I was the last. My whole family went to that school. So when I got there, you know,
you already made the mark. You solidified number two. But number two, Mr. Martin was already doing what they call hip-hop pedagogy, inserting hip-hop into the curriculum.
Yo,
you understand? That's the ill part about that.
I don't think he ever did that with anyone, because I can't recall no other rap dudes. Like I think I was the only dude that was like rapping in the school, you know, like that.
Yo, Wally, if you know, you're an MC, you're an entrepreneur, right? You're a man, you're a family person, you're an artist, all this stuff. What's one piece of advice you would give to that young person who's trying to follow your footsteps?
Yo, man, I just want to say, man, I want to tell y'all, do what you love and love what you do. You know, make sure it's in you and not just on you. You know, a lot of times nowadays it's just on people. They just claim they're it. But is it in you? See, it's in me, so it's on me already. But yeah, just make sure that you love it. Love what you do. Matter if it's drawing, rapping, playing basketball, whatever you do, keep doing it. And don't let nobody tell you what you can't do. Because part of me, I want to thank everybody that always told me I couldn't do it. I remember when I would tell my group once upon a time, you know what, I ain't got this money for these studios. And honestly, I don't really feel like they're doing exactly what I want them to do. I'm going to start editing my own stuff and hey, they literally laughed at me. Ha ha, you know? Little time down the line when my first song got played on the radio on 88.9 at night FM, You probably remember that, right?
Yes, sir.
Classic radio station. Everybody wanted to have a piece of 88.9 back in the days, 8 to 11. Okay, so one night they had played a song of mine on 88.9 that I had recorded and mixed. What people said I couldn't do, your quality. As soon as I started playing, called every one of them cats. Yo, turn on 88.9.
And
They
you know,
relations, they just making. We didn't have no video phones back in the day, but I could see the faces they were making.
yo, you know what's crazy is that you know, we trying to break down these institutions, man. Like, we don't need these VMAs. We don't need no, with all due respectfully, all these things that we try to chase. You know, we talk about cloud chasing. We don't talk about awards and mainstream chasing. Like, you know, you won the championship when your song comes out on the radio for the real audience, your family, your friends, the hood, because you got to win it at the home. You got to win it at the people that are really tapped into this. A lot of these other places, they super far out of our periphery. You understand? And for you to do that, yo, super commend you. And I totally respect you for doing that. Yo, Wally, let me tell you something, my brother. Nori of the Drink Champs. I know you know Nori. Shout out. I always tell people I really appreciate what he says, and I echo it. He says, you know, you got to give flowers to people while they're still alive, yo.
Well, yeah, I love that part.
Yo, my dude, and I want to give you your flowers, my brother, because I'm just so proud of you, yo. Just being a man of your word, your integrity, everything that you do, you know, your aura. Like, we gotta tell people we're proud of each other, because this world does everything to do the opposite of that. And we gotta, you feel me? And I just gotta say, yo, God, I see you shining, man. I see the light of the divine in you, you know, and I salute you. And as we always do, and oh, wait, before Wally, people, yeah, yo, listen.
You know Gene Dale, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Gene Dale. I like Gene Dale, man. You know, and I do that a lot. Like, a lot of people that I like and stuff, you know, I draw them. You know, I watch his interviews. Just want to throw that out there. Gene, what up, man?
Yo, shout out. Yo, speaking of, Wally, if people want to find you, connect with you, collaborate with you, how do people find you? What's your information?
Y'all can hit me on Instagram. I often get the tag wrong for my Instagram. Just Google Wally Sparks. You'll find all of my pages. Wally Sparks on Facebook. Wally Sparks CMB on Facebook. I believe Instagram 617 Wally Sparks.
Yes, sir.
I think that's what it is. Is it? Wally Sparks 617 Wally Sparks.
Yo, word.
But I'm Googleable, man.
Yeah, Google Wally Sparks. Yo, shout out to the 617. Shout out to all my Beantown family. Yo.
Pardon me. I wanted to tell everybody this one. This is always my most important link that I like to hand out my YouTube. WallyTube 101 on YouTube. That's WALLYTUBE 101. WallyTube 101 at YouTube. Please subscribe. Lot of videos, man. A lot of content, and I still got a lot in the cut. Also, want to let you guys know I don't want to say my 74th mixtape, but I want to say the 74th installment is out right now, which is an album. Hoodbound is out right now by Wally Sparks, produced in full by Haywire Music. Anybody who wants those beats, contact my man Haywire Music, music with a Q, MUSIQ, Haywire Music. Wally Sparks, Haywire Music, Hoodbound album out right now on all platforms. Mixtape number 75, titled Trap Adam, is coming soon. The Rock, Dwayne Johnson inspired that. I saw the Black Adam movie and I said, Trap Adam.
And that's the beautiful thing, man. And look at how you said your 75th, probably way more, because we've been doing this. And we got to big up people that are part of the culture, love the culture, and represent the culture beautifully. On that note, as we always do in the Know That Show podcast, to close, we end with a quote, my brother Wally. This one comes to us from Milton Burrow, and it reads as such. If opportunity doesn't knock, build the door.
Build that door.
What?
Straight up.
Peace, family.
My man, one.
I can't teach you how to rap like me. I can't teach you how to trap like me. Young boy, don't try to act like me. It won't get you on a track with me. I've been doing this a long time. Hey, way back when I used to sell dimes. Hey, got some homies doing hard time. Hey, you know I got that good vibe. You ain't never been a soldier, you fashion over. Pull up in a Rover, tell my bitch it's over. Heard your man got clapped cause he talk too much. Ran his mouth, shot his leg, he don't walk too much. Rap niggas, they don't want smoke. Pin game on quote, beat me, no hope. Got lines like coke, pour bleach in your coke. Lil' flea, you a joke, dumb bitch, I been woke. Spent guys at the crab table, still ain't signed to a rap label. DVD when I ain't have cable. I got balls, he ain't rap able. A 6D for me is mad fatal. Can't see me like a bad angle.